Wow, what a start to this stream. I'm getting there, folks. We've got a day planned with the flight factor, much like we did a couple weeks ago with the 747. Today, we're going to fly a couple flights in the flight factor 767, which, by the way, in the last few days, updated to 6.18, I believe it is. And well, this will be my first flight with it. Um, but yeah, sorry for all of the dead air space and all of that. Trying to get things set up, and I thought I had a button unchecked, and I checked the wrong button. That's okay. We'll try to turn this into a really good stream. So we're sitting on the line here in Pittsburgh, where we left off. I think we brought the 727 in here. Well, we're leaving on actually kind of a sort of real world flight, except about 12 hours early. This flight usually is a night cargo flight, but today, lesson learned from a couple days ago, taking off close to sunset. Even though I think this is well after it, at this juncture in the year, daylight stays quite a bit, almost to 9 o'clock here in the Midwest. Definitely 8 o'clock. So I wasn't sure, so I thought we're just going to fly it like normal. So anyway, its first flight is going to be Pittsburgh to Memphis. Those of you not familiar with the ICAO codes, the airport codes, it's KPIT to KM as in Mike, EM as in Mike, Memphis. So, hey, we're getting ready to come online. I just found another mistake I'd made, and and I know why I made it, because I said I'll catch that when I'm getting ready to go online. Yeah, I did. Yeah, about 30 seconds from when the song ended. So, yeah, so I'm coming online right now. Bear with me. I got a couple numbers to put in here that VATSIM loves for us to put in. And all right, so I'll take care of the squawk here in a minute. I just want you to get a look at it. It's a great plane. It's like I've said in the past, there was a little, about a month here, not too far back, where I couldn't fly it. But of all the flight factor planes out there, this was the one that always was ready to fly, no matter what beta, what release client X-Plane 12 had out, except for that month or two where I had to hangar it. And Flight Factor, to their defense, did a good job responding to it, and realizing they do have other aircraft in the fleet. Now, they've got a couple others that really need their attention, but I'm going to leave that to their business model, their way of doing things. I'm not going to say anything, although I would really like to put them back in the air. I haven't even tried them. I'll be told, oh, man. Oh, I just realized something. I did forget one thing. Doggone it. Um, you know what? Let me do this. Bear with me. I'm going to do this. Well, you won't be able to see it. I'm just going to throw the banner back up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if I didn't do this, that would be bad. Hang on. Got to close a couple things out because of this error. Oh, I'm glad I thought about it, or we would have crashed the desktop. Hang on a second. Okay, now I can quit. I'm just going to quit X-Plane, remove, as my instructions will tell you in the X-Plane flight, what you need to do here. Why is my mouse dead? That was really weird. Telling you. Anyway, you need to go into, now there's only one folder for this. Remember I told you about this in the 727, those of you that remember things like this. You kind of got to do the same thing with flight factor. So what I'm going to do is go into my flight factor aircraft folder. So go to X-Planes root folder, go to aircraft, find your flight factor. Where is it? So, oh, there it is. And then look for plugins. In it, delete TGDS. Hang on a second. Good. All right. Now let me refire things up. Oh, boy, I'm glad my mind kicked in. I totally forgot about that one. I also want to calibrate my yoke here, my joystick and throttle. It was really, things were not handling well in the level up. Now, that could be level up. They haven't updated. They had a huge flight problem, I know, and that's what brought it back to 03. So hang on, we got that. Is it 1058? No, let's. Hey, and if anyone out there knows the answer, I would sure love. Oh, it came up. Sorry. Done. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead, get to here. Well, I did not intend this to be a startup program flight, but it looks like it's going to be. We are again flying from Pittsburgh to Memphis. Now, this is to set up a flight for next week. FedEx Virtual, who we're flying for today, let me rephrase that, FedEx Express Virtual, has a fly-in next week. Now, I've heard it's in conjunction with VAT USA 4th of July flying. However, we're on the 3rd. Okay, close enough. So we're getting the plane there. Now, technically, by the rules, I don't have to, but I'm close enough. Why not? If I was in China, either jump seat it or hopefully the rules would cover me. So, but it's a great airline. I've had a couple people private message me and say they're not responding. And I said, that part I don't have control over. I don't know why they're not responding to applications. Yep, that's exactly what should have came up. And, but, you know, their loss is the way I look at it because there were some really good pilots. All right, let me power up here real quick. Get the buses on, get the gen connects. Don't click where you see the flips. Just click your gen connects on the outside. If you do, you'll have to perform maintenance, unfortunately. Go on to the battery. Huh, I don't know how I did that. And always make sure to close the flaps. Reason being, it just for certain functions in this plane, if you accidentally, let's just say, clicked drive disconnect one of the flaps, takes 2 clicks then to actually disconnect, which unfortunately I've done that a couple times. And bring that down to 350. Bear with me, I'm getting it back to where we were. We're going to have to reload the plane. I know, bummer. I can hear some going, hallelujah, we can at least see this part. All right, hang on. Well, actually, this is a good part to see. And lights. I'm just turning them up for the daytime. At night, of course, we'd want them a little more saying, "Hey, Ramsey, welcome in to the flight today." All right, so I think aside from getting aligned, oop, I forgot to click one. There we go. Got our electronic engine controls on. But welcome in, Ramsey. Hope you enjoy. It's a 767 day here at Flying with Mike, and uh, the title will kind of give you an idea what's coming. That is not what I want. I want this one. All right, now I'll take that plug in. All right, everything on. Let's see. Stairs, chocks, LSU, GPU, fuel truck, ACU, and loader. Perfect. Let me flip that around and let's get a better view. Let's go to airplane and open them all. If you don't, it'll tell you I can't do that feature without that turned on. All right. This is actually a good point. We'll get rid of that. I'm going to bring Sim Toolkit in. Let you see what we got planned for today on the first flight. Second flight is, I'll just say it, Atlanta to St. Louis. So, and again, it is in the flight factor 767. Oh, there's a reason why. I'm going, why is Sim Toolkit not coming up? Well, there's an extremely good reason. All right, bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and connect up. All right, yeah, we got the same code. Good. All right, doesn't matter. We have to reset it anyway. Let me get this up. This would help. Whoa. Hang on, let me get Sim Toolkit firing up here for you. For me, I find it better to just reset without XPilot, without Sim Toolkit on, and cancel the flight with Elevatech, and then start tracking it again. Man, it looks like a beautiful day out there for a flight. Real world or flight sim. Especially between Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Memphis. Now, their storms, don't get me scattered about. The main bulk is out towards Joplin to Kansas City, but we got a little bulk south of Nashville, Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and up there by Mansfield, Canton area. So other than that, it looks like a fantastic day to go flying. Oh, there's some starting to pop up north of St. Louis. Sweet. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, it looks like a just fantastic day. Hang on a second. Okay, we got that on. I'm just making sure I got everything reloaded. I do. X-plane. All right, so let's take a look at this. This time, I did everything right. I got one more step to do before we load the plane. All right, so 98,310 pounds are going in this plane. I'll show you how to load that. 32,254 in the fuel tanks. We're going to take off 28 center, plan 36 left. We may end up on the, well, you know what? We'll put her on that side. It really doesn't matter where I park. I like to park by the building like everybody does that flies in there. But, you know, sometimes parking out in the outfield there is not a bad thing in getting out. 80 BURGS HNN RAMRD to the Buzz 5 arrival into Memphis. One of these I don't think I've ever seen. So this RAMRD, RAMRD, I don't think I've seen that flight. So 80 for the cost index and 34,000. Weather for today's flight. Winds out of the south at 7, 10-mile visibility, and we do have a broken layer of clouds at 1,300 feet. That would only be a nuisance if we had to come back and land due to something big like an engine failure or something else that we determine is not safe for flight. Over in Memphis, again, it's weird. 190 at 10-mile visibility, no clouds to worry about. They're at 25,000 feet. As of right now, we'll see how things progress later on. So that's our weather. We'll get the right button. There we go. So we're ready to go. Let's get Sim Toolkit out of here. Checking everything, making sure. Oh, no, don't do that, Mike. There we go. And let's load the aircraft right now. All right, so let's go up here. Now, there's two ways. You can go from the plug-in or pilot's left knee. We'll go that way for this time. All right, and we're going to go, we'll do it from here. All right, go to the ground page. Again, we made reference. What you see lit up generally is what you need to load it. The only options are GPU, ACU. If you're going to run on the APU, obviously you won't need it. We're going to stay on the GPU and ACU. Keep that little engine off. Can you tell me which fuel reserve I need to take? Navgraphs gives me two. Once reserve. What I use is, let me pull up Sim Toolkit. I think I have this one right. All right, so here's SimBrief. I have it attached to Sim Toolkit. Neat feature, by the way. Let's go to the flight plan. So here we have it. Pittsburgh to Memphis, 98,310 pounds. Whoa, you're not seeing this. What? There we go. So let's scroll down a little bit. Where you're probably referring to is the show details here. All right, so here's our basics to our flight. Here's our fuel. What I use is the final reserve plus alternate. So 12 point, you can do 12.5, 12.6 if you want to round up that last, 100 pounds, and that'll be fine. I don't know if the 767 requires that. We'll find out here shortly. Oh, no, you're great. I appreciate it because we're actually almost there. We're beginning to load the plane, and then we're going to load the FMC. So you're right on with us. So thank you, sir, for the question. We sure appreciate it. But yeah, we'll use the 12,569 number, and we'll show you how we enter it here momentarily. Okay, so let's load the plane. First, I zero out the pallet number and cargo weight. Fuel weight, that will, whatever your plane landed with will be what's in it. That is how flight factors, I think, set it up to do it, or X-Plane, one of the two, because Fearless throws 180,000 pounds on you and you got to burn it down or drain it, as they say. Takes a while. Anyway, we're not in that plane. We're in this one. Now, pallet number. Every pallet on this plane, so whatever number you put in pallet, is 9,800 pounds each. I hope that makes sense because it can be confusing. You don't set your pallet number and then set your cargo weight. Trust me, if you put, I think we got something like 20 on the main deck for spots and easily that much underneath, you're going to find this plane way overweight. So what I do, very simple. Now, right now it's not. Hang on. There it is. 98. I already know. It's actually, this one's actually easy to work with. It's 10 pallets. Now, our zero fuel weight we're estimating in SimBrief is 296,000 310 pounds. Current ZFW down here at the bottom, 296. Gee, what does, and the cargo weight then becomes whatever is left over. So, geez, could it be 310? Thank you, FedEx Virtual, for giving me, or FedEx Express Virtual, for giving me a nice, simple one this time. And that puts us right up at our estimated zero fuel weight. Our fuel is where we need. Now, I kind of hate it when the fuel is where I want it because first let's do maintenance, optimize, because what I'll do, there's a couple of ways to know when it's done. Either the fuel is there, or you don't hear it anymore, or you won't see a message saying it's loading. In this case, the first one is out because it's already there, unless it does something weird that I have never seen because I've never had it like this. Like I said, you can kind of hear it. Let me see if I've got it turned up enough. Nah, maybe not. Oh, geez, and I have the SIM toolkit still pulled up. All right, so what I was talking about is the total quantity of fuel. See, it's not moving. We're loading the rest of the plane, though. Fortunately, there's no neat little cheesy graphics like Rotate puts on the MD-11. But that's what it takes to load this plane. Just the big takeaway. Each pallet number you put in there is 9,800 pounds, pre-programmed on the system. That includes down here in the bottom bays. So we got 10, 11, 12, okay, it's 13 spots up top, easily that much below. If you put every spot in it, you'll be shocked. Nope, it's not done. I thought it was. Okay, I know, boring screen, I know. So let's do this. Go to align, go to align, go to align. Now, what I do to start up, just to make sure y'all know, I turn the battery on, standby power to auto, bus ties to auto, utility bus to on, gen connects, showing on, but the word off next to them. That's perfect. Go to nav, go to nav, go to nav. 7 minutes to alignment. Then I get the emergency lights armed. Window heats on, trim air, left and right recircs. Get their temperatures up to auto. Okay, and packs, I only turn them on because I don't know if how you feed the cold air into this plane. And we'll turn up the cabin lights just because we're loading. Then I'll turn on hydraulics, electric C1, C2, both on, and each of the demands. And we're ready to go for loading. Now, where we were when I realized, oops, I had oopsed. All right, so we'll come here, here, here. We're at pit. GPS is good. Route, pit, KMEM. Think I still hear them. Now I do have a company route. Okay, so the route is now loaded, and we are FedEx 811, right? Yes, okay. I think we're loaded. Okay, see how it no longer says loading? We no longer hear any of that banging around and people talking and all of that. They kind of mishmashed it for all aircraft. So, you know, you can like it or not. It is what it is, and I'm just happy the plane's flyable again. All right, let me get down here since we're here and I don't forget. Squawk code 6. Three, 5, uno. Okay, everything looks good up there. While I'm thinking about it, .ctaf, and we're at KPIT. I thought that's what we'd get. I'm really shocked. I'll explain that in a minute. And I forget where I saw it. Oh, I know where I saw it. I'll show you. Now I remember. All right, anyway, we got, oh, did we get that set? Yes. All right, so outside the airplane, we know we're done loading, and yeah, the cheesiness is not there. There's nothing in the plane. However, we're going to go ahead and start getting it ready for flight. So we're going to just close some doors, go to ground, and get rid of the fuel truck. Oh man, you love that, how quick they just go, beam me up, Scotty. And keep the ACU and the loader. Okay. At this time, since we're loaded, I love to forget FedEx's 8 cars. So I'm starting it now. So hang on. To KMEM. Yeah, that's not even close to my route. Okay. That's okay. Oh, that cracks me up. All right, so there you have it. All the little goodies except for the ACU, the air stair, and the GPU are gone. Okay, so now let's go on and finish up the flight, shall we? So let's go to departure arrival. Okay, let me bring in charts now. Here's how I knew that was going to be it. All right, so from charts and from this program, when you click the ATIS button, if you have a number above VATSIM, they have it, there's somebody manning something revolving around Pittsburgh, be it Cleveland Center, be it, I think it's Cleveland. I'm not certain. Hang on, there's a way to find out. Yeah, Cleveland. So if there's a number there, then we got to go by that. Otherwise, here's the real world. This is what's transmitting if you were flying in that area right now over that. Boy, I'd love to hear this because, man, that looks like it could take a while for the arrival. Look at that. And they're going to read all of this off because the pilot needs to know that there's mowers out there. Glide paths are out of service. All of these taxiways and what have you are closed. Yeah, they need to know that. So there's a lot of construction right now going on there. All right, now we're on the departure, and you'd hear all of this. So, however, all we're worried about is right here. Now, we could, if we had the ability, set up the departure frequency just in case, but I'm not going to worry about it. They can buzz me. But here's your weather at the top. Departing 28 Center, Tower Freak 128.3. Your CTAF usually coincides with the active tower, whatever, if they give it to you. So if you look up in a chart and it says 28 center 128.3, boom, that's going to probably be your CTAP, but you can always check on XPilot or whatever you use. All right, so we're going out. Oh, excuse me, now I get the hiccups. Wouldn't you know? Oh, they're killing me. Oh, good, I got them. Okay. So we're going to go out the Pittsburgh 5 departure if it's, oh, it is up there in SID. Okay. So it's basically a straight out departure. Pretty simple, 281, then we turn on course. All right, so we'll select 28 center. Pit 5, we don't have any transition, so it's going to set us up to go 281 until we go direct. All right. And legs. And there it is. 281 vectors to AHTIY. Azul! Welcome aboard, sir. Hope you enjoy a 767 day. All right, and then there's the rest of our flight to RAMRD. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing here. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to go to index and go to arrival. Now we will. Charts. However, we're going to do it pretty much the same way. We already got the BURGS 5 entered. Hang on. Back out. And you can see it puts it right on the flight. We're coming down here. Approaches. Actually, before I touch that, what's Memphis calling? Okay, visual approaches in use, 36 left center and 27. What do you think? I think we're going to do 27. Ha ha! I don't get to fly onto that runway. There we go. We'll do it from, hell, hang on, let's find out. I think grit. Hang on. Let's do this. I'm working too hard here, folks. Hang on. Change. And there. Where's grit? When in doubt, open the chart up. Grit. That's perfect. Add. And now it'll be part of the chart here in a second when it stops spinning. All right. So let's take a look at BURGS 5 real quick. Okay, so we're going to go to Copen, then expect vectors down. So here we're going to turn and head for grit and head in. Okay, cool. All right, so we are going to use that. We're going to use that, and we're going to use that. BURGS 5 RAMRD, headed to the ILS 27 from grit. Execute. Definitely check your legs. Because right there would have screwed up a lot of pilots, missing that discontinuity. Harriet axle speaker. Hang on. We're coming in here. Harriet axle speaker. Okay, then BURGS. Copen. Again, another one would have screwed up some pilots. That's what you're looking for. Now, I can't do anything about these holds right now. Only to say we'll do this. Oop, wrong way. And we'll just probably not even be on it at that point. Okay, so we got that part set up. And so 27, go out to gallery. Hang on, let's find out. Back up a page. Grit, grind. IPEC, which we don't really care, it's still on it, to the runway. Out to gallery. Okay, cool. Now, the reason we're not connected is due to vectors. Okay, so there you go. We're now set up for the route. Now let's go to the initialization where the question came from. All right, so in this aircraft, all you got to do is click the 0 fuel weight, verify it, 296.3, perfect. We said get rid of charts. What did we say? Hang on. I forgot already. 12 point, and we'll go 12.5. 1, 2 point, not 2 points, just 1, 5. There's my reserve. Cruise altitude, we said 34,000. We're cost indexed at 80. I actually forgot that once. And right now it's 156 at 13 for our average wind. And we'll do a 2,000 foot step climb. I doubt it's going to call it. Oh, back up a page. Hang on. Index. Perf. That's what I forgot to do. Now go to takeoff. Click. All right, that's what I forgot to do. Now I'll go to page 2. Winds on the runway. 210 at 3. So that's 210 diagonal tree. All right, now the slope. We'll put, is that up? That'll be up 0.1. And our reference temp for today, 26. That's what it is. Ooh, not 5, 6. Outside the airplane, that can actually be verified. And actually it's showing 25 here, but we'll take it. All right. That takes care. It's a very simple page. This is a little tough to find. Sim Toolkit does have it, as does SimBrief. If you go to take Performance and Tools, fill out the page. When it comes up, you'll actually be able to see that number. However, for today's flight, you just make sure 28 center, calculate. We're D rating TO1. Oh, is it dash TO1? Is it just clear? Is it just DTO? Okay. Oh, I know why. Got to put a number in there, Mike. Come on. DTO1. There we go. Now, it doesn't show that I want takeoff 1. We have to set that on the panel. And that is right above. If you see the landing gear lever barely over there, now you should. Where it says up, that little panel there, TOGA clear, 1, 2, so forth, that's where you would do it. And we are going out of here, flaps 5. Turn them on. All right, now we're SimBrief has increased the speeds from what is shown on mine to help us with the climb. I'm going to take it. 152, 156, 160, 152, 156. Wait a minute. Yeah, 156. Click. 160. However, the numbers you see here, if you were to just click the 3 line select keys next to each reference, you would be fine getting off. All it's doing is improving your climb. And we're set to go. I'm going to turn them off. Pre-flight complete. I'm going to set this one on legs for now. Wrap up our checklist real quick, and we're going to get this thing ready to roll. Okay, crud, I forgot. We got a new, we had to reset the sim, so we're 11. Just setting my altimeters. Okay, I think last step here, we said 160. Let's go 170 for the climb. We're going on 281. Initial climb on the Pittsburgh 5 departure. 5,000. We do not have ATC, I believe, as of yet. No. Going to go ahead, set our 34,000. Even though technically 5,000, if we did, would be our cleared altitude. 10 minutes afterwards, we'd be theoretically able to climb. I don't know if we're able to just do it. Some of these guys on VATSIM would probably have a conniption if you did. So, all right, so she is ready to go. I hope you're ready to go. I don't see anyone, or no one wants to fly to Memphis. Join us. We'll have fun anyway. Let's get that APU fired up. Little trick here, folks. If you don't know which fuel pump the APU pulls from, try starting it. It's that one. Give it a couple seconds. We'll actually, why don't we do that? We'll just pop right down. It actually throttles up pretty decently. It comes up at a decent rate. That was never a complaint here. It was the other well, I'm not sure with the freighter, but the 200s and this thing would be well, actually slow on the APU, but everything else, I mean, blink an eye and you're fired up. And not one where your eye is hung and you open it 5 minutes later. Oh boy, I hear the first officer out there having fun. All right, let's do it. APU's on. Let's go up top. All right. Okay, bleed on. Here comes the air. APU gen on, off the, now, very critical with this plane, turn the external power off on the panel first. I have accidentally forgotten it and then went to plugins, EFB, and clicked it here, and everything goes dark, to include when you do get it back up on the APU. And that's including if you're on APU gen already. It doesn't switch over till you turn off the external power. Your flight plan, which stinks, because now you got to go re-enter all of that data again. If you've got it as a company route, not as bad, but you get the point. All right, with that, we're off the GPU. We're off that. Getting the stairs pulled away. I just hit close all. That way, if I missed anything, it gets them all anyway. Quick walk around to the aircraft by our ground crew. Okay, chocks are the only things in place. Let's get to work getting this thing out of here. Double check. All right, first things first, let's get on CTAF. I don't even know if there's anyone but us here. Just us. Oh, one thing before we push. Very critical with flight factor aircraft. Check your whatever you use. Well, if you're in flight factor, you're going to be on X-plane. So check your X pilot. You probably will only see TX highlighted by COM1. You have to have RX to be able to hear any controllers, as well as COM2 in RX. So here's how you do that. I'll make sure the volumes are turned all the way up and just click on it so they light up. Now look over the board. TX, which means you can transmit, which you could do before. RX is now lit up. RX is lit up on COM2 as well. So if you're avoiding talking to the controller because you're aviating before communicating, they forget that part of the VATSIM slogans. And they yell at you. Well, you can't yell back because you aren't transmitting. You could, but I ain't going to teach you that one. And it's not a private message either. So yeah, they can wait. There is nothing that says you have to immediately contact them. They have to realize you got to aviate before you're going to communicate. Now, caveat to that, if you just pushed back, you taxied all the way to runway, and you took off and never contacted whoever was there, okay, they can yell at you then because you were supposed to contact them immediately, before pushback, if at all possible, or as quickly as you can taxi. Because sometimes they do come up while you're taxiing, and they'll just have to wait till you get to a point where you can stop and do what they want you to do. But yeah, that's my only caveat in this whole thing. All right, so again, make sure on your X pilot, COM1 has TXRX lit up, COM2, 121.5 to start with, RX lit up. All right, now we can commence to the pushback. And I did switch over, and that was CTAF, correct? 128-300, that was. Yeah, Pittsburgh area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy pushing back out of the cargo area. That would help if I did this.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
We'll just keep it simple today.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Don't forget to remove the chocks. They get a little nasty with you. And switch over to engine.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Just a couple more seconds. Interesting texturing to the clouds there.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, double checking here, hang on. All right, we definitely did fire up and are online. Here we go. Brakes off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, fuel pumps on. Packs off. Kind of curious if it's going to go back and forth and back and forth.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, we're on the generator as the engine spools. That was weird how that gauge worked. Yeah, it went from just barely below the line at the top to 22 as soon as it got to it. That was kind of weird. It was doing a pretty good job of moving and then just went boom. I'm sure it does that in the real plane.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Yeah, thanks for the pushback and see you next time. Those of you curious with X-Plane, that's a free utility. Very simple to install, and it is updatable with AICRAFT, I think it's called. Skunk Update or whatever it's called. I haven't checked to see if there's one out there lately. And there he is with the pins. All right, let's continue on after start. Okay, parking brakes at tow vehicles away to the top. Whoop, that's not the top. Here we go. Engine pumps on the hydraulics. Okay, where are we? Anti-ice, we don't need. Bleed valves on. Packs back on. APU bleed off. APU off. Generator off. Okay, auto brakes. Down to reject takeoff. Taxi lights, VOR, both VORs are auto. We've already got our numbers in, but we do need to turn on our flight directors. All right, stab trim 4.4. Let's see where we're actually at. We're pretty close. Let's knock it a couple. All right. Oh, I need to do one thing. Bear with me. Okay, hang on. Something looks kind of wonky there. We'll check it. Okay, that was right. It just seemed weird, the throttle. All right. Hopefully that will be what is the issue. All right. And stape trim is set flaps 5. And we don't have to worry about radar, but let's first go to status. Okay. Brakes off. Here we go. And Pittsburgh traffic, FedEx 811 heavies taxiing to 28 center. Welcome aboard, everyone. Again, the flight is Pittsburgh to Memphis. Preparations for a flight that I was told by FedEx Express Virtual that's going to take place next week on the 3rd. It's a Thursday with VAT USA. Memphis Indie Days, I think it's called, something like that. But they're going to go Memphis to Indianapolis, and I'm going to try to join in. Hopefully, I'll feel up to it. Kind of looking now like a gloomy day here in Pittsburgh. Although when we started the stream, 1300 was the ceiling broken layer, and definitely living up to that. I think they have storms nearby. We got a little bit of a taxi. So I hope you all have had a great week. Those of you that your weekend plans have begun, you made it. Those of you still working, I hope good for you listening to us while you work. But no, seriously, thank you for listening, and hope you have had a great week as well. It's been it's like last week, a little on the rough side, but we're taking our one day off here to recuperate. We'll be back to work tomorrow. Then we get 2 days off. So not sure yet if we'll be streaming both days, but we'll see. You never know. But again, thanks for flying with Mike. And if you're new to the channel, hey, and you like what you hear, smash that follow button. We'd love you to join the family here. And if you're catching this YouTube video, smash that subscribe and like button just so we know you're out there and that you're enjoying the content. Up next will be another 767 flight after this, out of Atlanta to St. Louis. And I'll just leave it there. It should have been cycling through by now in the chat room there. So and that will require me to shut the sim down, restart it in Atlanta so that we can get the new aircraft online. But again, today, right now, what you're watching is Pittsburgh to Memphis FedEx style. That it is, Ramsey, that it is. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plane. Although I still kind of like the purple people eaters, the old original FedEx colors. But, you know, this'll do. And by the way, that's my term, purple people eaters. Where are we, by the way? I always get confused at this point. Okay, we got to keep going. Okay. The Air National Guard ramp is right here, and it always confuses me. All right, we got to hang a left up here on Echo to the end. Again, this flight would have flown early evening hours out of Pittsburgh. I didn't want to deal with Memphis being in the eyes in the sun coming in on 27 again. So we took off at the real world time that it is right now, 12:56 Pittsburgh time. All right, let's get on engines. All right, before takeoff, parking brake, speed brakes off, running lights set, nose gear lights on. Okay. Auto throttle on, arm. And Pittsburgh area traffic, FedEx 811 heavy departing, 28 center, Pittsburgh 5 departure. Why can't I go to the end? I see how you are, Pittsburgh. Lucky I don't need it all. Technically, I am on it all. All right, let's line up and wait. Almost scared to look up the runway to see why I need this much power. Okay, that's a sizable hill. All right, now remember I mentioned we have to do something here to set this into takeoff. Takeoff. 1. All right. Sorry, I had to look at my information to make sure. So we click takeoff 1. Now we're derated for takeoff 1. So theoretically, we should have those numbers. All right, let's get up here, get our lights on. Everything's armed up, ready to go, spoiling up. Now there is a short key here for Toga right below the flight director on the left side. Click it, and there you are. And that was a pretty good hill right there. 80 knots. Little down on the column there. Ooh, I saw that lightning. Or was it? Or is it just clouds rendering? V1 rotating. Positive rate gears coming up. I didn't start any timers. Doggone it. Oh well. And there we go. All right, let's keep going. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Okay, we're on VNAV climb. All right, it is time for a direct. And there we go. Out of here, and not too bad a time, even though we had a lot of little things we had to take care of, like getting rid of the TGDS folder, which I had forgotten to do. Also resetting the or recalibrating the joystick. That seemed a lot better on this plane. We'll try it here again on a level up in a couple of days. We'll also make sure to calibrate it prior. We're on our way though through 6,000 for Memphis. It's always those little things we forget. So real quick, in summary here of click spots, right below the flight director switch, you've got a little set screw. Just click that for toga. Now, upper left or right hand corner, there's a set screw there on your altimeter. Click it and it will set the other side's altimeter to whatever yours is. Unfortunately, the standby one you have to do. All right, after takeoff checks, real quick, flaps are up, transponder. Why would it be in, oh, tax, oh, after landing. Like, why would I do that? Turning on course. And by the way, controllers do not know if you're on TARA. They don't care. All they care is that they see you mode C. Who does care is the pilot, because you won't see traffic on your TCAS. Well, right now you won't see them anyway, because we don't have that capability. You know what? I shouldn't say that. That is terrain radar and weather radar we don't have. We might still see traffic. I've actually never had traffic to even test that. So just remember, once you remove that TGDS folder, that's Tango Golf Delta Sierra, it's in your plugins folder of your 767 folder from Flight Factor. Delete it. You just won't have weather radar or terrain. I have yet to hear they fixed it. If they have, they sure didn't put it in the notes, because I think that would be a jump for joy. But, you know, who am I? All right, we are through 10,000 feet on our way up to 34. I hope y'all have enjoyed to this point. We've got, well, let me go ahead and pull that overlay in. Looks like about an hour and a half at this point to get to Memphis. Now realize as we get higher, that number is going to come down quite a bit. So right now, 6 minutes after the hour, we'll check back, say at about 29,000. And that, folks, will only have been about 5-10 minutes. And we will have probably lost at least 20 minutes, because we do have to still travel the distance. So we're on our way, and hope all is well with you. Trying to get to a screen here. Okay, and looking things over, looks good. We got a great bunch of people today. Thank you for flying with Mike. Thought I clicked on this little NVIDIA overlay that likes to... Oh, maybe I did. What did I click on? Man, my screens are doing some weird stuff again. So hopefully nothing nefarious going on. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that delay. Okay, so through 22,000. Okay, now we'll get a good showing here of this to a point. Here, we'll do it this way. Maybe in some weird way it'll make sense. Yeah, we can see it over here. So we're at 3011 on both of them. We just crossed 4,000 feet ago. All right, so you can see 2992 is in the captain's side, still 3011 over here. There's an altitude disagree message. All you do is click that set screw I told you, set it over here. Yeah, you still got to come back, set this one. All right, 86 miles to our next fix off of BURGS. I'll be honest, top of my head, I forgot which one that is. Oh, HNN-VOR, which is Henderson VOR in West Virginia, I believe. All right, we're following the Ohio River here for just a little bit, and then cross the state of Kentucky to Memphis. So I hope again everyone's Friday is going well. For the most part, aches and pains are easing on me from work, but hey, that's just life and getting used to it. So, anyway, hope you've all had a great week, and the weekend is upon us. Hope you have great plans, especially in the fact, hey, it's a short week for many here in the U.S. It's the 4th of July week, and really hope you enjoy it. I wish I could say it's a short week for me, but no. Unfortunately, grocery stores, well, they do close. That's not going to be one of the holidays they would close for. Or maybe shorten hours, possibly. That's a possibility. But more than likely, no. I remember many years ago as a courier, 4th of July, I had a van, so they loved loading me up with meat going from this grocer to that grocer because they're out of this product. Well, this one has an overage of that product. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, there was no closing them. They'll find what they need and use couriers if need be to get it to them. That was back then. Today, I don't know how that works. I would like to think it's still the same. You never know. But yeah, anyway, big barbecue week coming up. Short week, 4th of July. I think it's on a Friday, isn't it? I'm lost where. Yeah, Friday. So, yeah, should have known that because the event's on Thursday that we're going to participate in. So, and if you haven't seen it yet, or I haven't yet at least, here's a link to how to join FedEx Express Virtual. I think they're a great airline. I've been with them, I think 7, 8 years, 9 years, pretty close to when they started. And I have just enjoyed all of my time there. Hang on a second, we just hit cruise. Checking everything out. And we are now 1 hour and 2 minutes out. 10 minutes later, we lost nearly 20 minutes in en route time, just so to get to that. But anyway, great bunch of people to join. I know a couple of you have tried joining them and never heard from them. I don't know what's up with that. I really don't. So I wish I had an answer for you. But give it a try. They are a good bunch. Great, simple software to use for tracking flights. Works off the old FS ACRES program that any of you were familiar with it. It's modified for the airline. Great job. And yeah, it's really a great bunch of people. And like I said, I'll be flying Thursday again with them if everything goes well and I'm able to. We'll be flying from Memphis to Indianapolis. It's not a long flight. I think it's like an hour in flight. But yeah, it should be a fun time. From what I understand, a VAT USA event, that FedEx Express Virtual is one of probably many entities and people who will fly it. Speaking of which, hang on a second. uh, okay. And like I said, um, sometimes they can be slow, um, but for the most part, they do a great job. Let me see. Hey, the event's there. Hey, I'm going to sign up. Cool. So the only caveat for FedEx Express is virtual. We have a flight plan to follow. I don't know if it's going to be everyone slated to fly this out of Memphis. And I will kind of throw this nasty 5-letter word out there. Expect holds. I got a feeling this is going to be one of those big events. So expect holds. That I don't like. But, you know, it's part of, you know, if you want to fly some VATSIM events, there could be some holding involved. And I'm not up to date on how to do holds. I've only flown 2 holds in my entire 26, 7 years flying flight simulator. I've only done like 2 holds. And of late, I have seen probably in the last 6 months several events with aircraft holding, ground delays, ground stops. Believe it. Would you believe on a virtual setup we have ground stops? It's just incredible the volume that's out there. So keep that in mind. Pack a lot of patience. That includes me. All right, we are up just shy of an hour. We're just under an hour out. So sit back, relax, enjoy. We're going to keep the music at a minimum for this leg. Maybe the next one as well. They're really short legs. And we're going to kind of look ahead, see if anything's going on in our direction. Nope. Just looking around on VATSIM, yeah, it looks pretty quiet out there. And that's kind of expected. It is. Most people here in the U.S. are working, so it's kind of expected. Now, if I was flying in Europe and doing my Frankfurt Friday updates, I'd be like, oh my gosh. Matter of fact, let's do one. We flew one last week. I think it was last week. There are currently only 13 planes ready to go, or trying to get out. But they're top, for the most part, top to bottom on Frankfurt Fridays, so that'll work out pretty good. But yeah, we every now and then like to report on that because it's one of those airports that I've seen up to 50 waiting to go. And I'm like, ouch. But you know, they do a real good job moving traffic. They've almost like, you know, they've got a science to it. So hats off to those in Germany. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. The wife had some information for me. So, okay. By the way, I'm glad I saw that from another streamer. Okay, I'll give them credit. Spy Flight. Those of you, by chance, that got to go to Flight Sim FS Expo, hey, enjoy. Enjoy the Providence, Rhode Island area. More importantly, enjoy the expo. Wish I could be there. We're here at the house, flying a flight for you. Try 2 flights. I'm hoping, don't hold me to this, as I know some of you out there are probably that kind of person. Don't hold me to that. I want to get to next year's, wherever it is. Now, of course, watch them put it in like Tokyo, Japan. Yeah, I won't be able to get there. But, well, actually I could, but technically I wouldn't be able to afford it. But no, I hope to make next year's. I just, too much going on, uncertainties and all. There was no way to plan for this one. So we'll see how next year's. I like some of the venues that were tossed about. If you all are voting, I'm not going to sway anyone. Vote your conscience. But there were some good venues, and that would be a tough one to vote on. So, and I know Providence only from a load or two. Beautiful, beautiful city back in the 90s, especially where I was, more down towards the harbor area. Not on it. I didn't deliver to the harbor or any of the big companies down there, but it was a little company I brought in some stuff to and laid over the weekend, unfortunately, there for it. But hey, it was beautiful to walk around, enjoy, stretch my legs from very long time on the road. And so Providence is a beautiful city. I hope you enjoy the expo and enjoy the surrounding area. So. Also, don't forget to take in the X-Plane. Those of you that fly X-Plane, the X-Plane area, got some treats for you there that you probably already know about, but check out the X-Plane Discord or mine, because I didn't even look, but I'm pretty sure it's up on ours as well. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, check it out there from the official server. And, yeah, it looks like a great time. Wish there wasn't as much uncertainty leading up to it that I couldn't make plans to be out there, but life is how life is going to throw it at you. And just got to trust in the Lord that everything will work out. Maybe not on our timing, but for sure in a better timing through the Lord. Okay, let's see. What are we calling? Okay, we're still not in where it would tell us. Usually for the FMCs, for me at least, it seems to be within about 200, anywhere from 150 to 200 miles out. We'll see it show up on cruise, or it's on the progress page. So for now, we're just rolling along. Shouldn't be much longer though. So while we have this little lull, you know what? Let's take advantage of it. Bring charts up. You can see where we are in traffic around us with VATSIM. Not much, but that's cool. We're headed to RAMRD and the BLUS 5 arrival. So from RAMRD, first off, no restrictions on aircraft that I see, but down here will tell you our course. But we got to get the BLUS before that happens. So we're going to come in from RAMRD, Harrit, Axle, above 24,000 at 290. Speaker, above 4,000, below 23,000. To BLUS, below 23,000, 280 knots. Now our directions from here say we head up to, or head over to Copen, sorry, be at 10,000, 230 on the speed. Then we vector to runway 27, unless someone comes up and tells us no. Currently, the ATIS in play Romeo has approaches to 36 left center and 27. It's only 37 minutes old, which, by the way, I clicked the wrong button. I'm just continuing. Let's see. We're gonna be well into descent, headed to it. They're gonna have to vector us a different way if they want the 3.6s. However, we're planning 2.7 for the arrival. All right, and then like I said, we're gonna drop down, grab, let's hit this one, zoom in. Okay, across the top are our frequencies. We're going for 927. I do think this is gonna be the CTAF we get 183, but we'll see. Ground. The localizer will have to put in 108.7. Final approach course we'll put in. It's not where you think. 273 on the final approach. Those of you that aren't familiar with this plane. Grind at, where is that? It doesn't say. About 5 miles from the runway. We're going to need to be at 1,900 feet, which is 1,600 above the ground. Decision altitude 200 feet. The airport itself is 341 feet above sea level. We'll be touching down 292 feet above sea level. A lot of slopes here. In case we go missed, there's the procedure to Gowrie. 5,000 and hold. There's the route to Grit, which is 10 miles out. We might come straight down and grab the localizer a little further out. Be at 3,000, dropping to 1,900. I don't know what we're going to end up for a approach speed. I'm going to guess we'll just say 140. Take about 2 minutes, 6 seconds to the missed approach from ground. Mulzer, Pappy, 5,000 to Gowrie, and then our minimums for the runway that we're allowed to take, 200 feet on the METARs for broken and overcast, and a half mile. If they are reporting a RVR 24, unless you read item 1 down here, unless we have flight director, which we do, autopilot, which we do, and a HUD, which we, or a HUD. None of this is and, it's all or to DA. So we could drop to 18 if we had to for an RVR. On the ground, I bet you'll have no idea where we're going to park. Probably over in here. Maybe in here. I haven't fully decided that yet, but we'll be over here. Usually I try to head over here, but today I'm just going to hang out somewhere over in this region. What? Somebody's manning the tower at Mid-America? Why? What's going on there? Gonna have to look. Nothing right now at all at Mid-America. That's kind of funny. What is the ATIS though? They should be 3 2s. Yep. Okay, that's what I kind of figured. All right, so we're on our way. Top of descent. Is it showing up yet? Yes. All right, top of descent now, 198 miles out. And we'll just kind of keep it going nice and easy here. Hope you enjoy the run in. We're just under 200 miles from our potential top of descent into Memphis and runway 27. All right. So we are 35 or so minutes out of Memphis. Again, if you're at FS Expo, I'm jealous. I wish I could be. But I hope you enjoy your weekend there. Hope it's what you're looking for. And enjoy it all. It'll be a blast. Um, hopefully next year I'll be able to attend. So long as they don't put it out of the country. So anyway, we are on our way. We are in the vicinity right now. I couldn't tell you. We're somewhere between lost and found. So we'll find ourselves here. Hopefully the autopilot won't get us lost. But yeah, we'll start our descent here in about 10 minutes or so. So I hope you've enjoyed the flight so far from Pittsburgh over to Memphis. Like I said, we're showing 35 minutes up there on the clock. So enjoy. Any questions, comments, love to see them. Chat room's open, Discord's open, love to talk with you if you are so. Just realize this is a family channel, and I do enforce that pretty heavily. So mind your P's and Q's, and just imagine that your grandmother is sitting here and hearing you talk like that. Hopefully she's got a good old frying pan to smack upside your head. So we proceed onward. Let's take a look what it looks like ahead of us, kind of like what it looked like behind us. Although we're starting to get a little bit of those. I don't have the weather turned on here. Hang on a second. And we got some storms building up ahead of us. Fortunately, we can't look at them on radar because that's something's up with that with flight factor. They know the issue, of the issue. Let me rephrase that. They know of the issue. And I know they say they're trying to fix it, but man, kind of reminds me of another one, FJS, that they actually would never tell us there was a problem, even though there's a big problem. But when you remove folders, guess what? Things worked. So there's your problem. And Flight Factor's trying to get that fixed. Now, if you're experiencing crash to desktops with this aircraft, remove the TG Tango Golf Delta Sierra folder. You can find it if you go to your X-Plane folder, open it up, go into your airplane folder or aircraft folder, look for your 767 in there. Once you're in that folder, look for your plugins, and that's where the Tango Golf Delta Sierra is. Just delete it, and just realize you won't have radar or terrain radar. That's a bummer, especially with 2.3 looming and all the great stuff the weather radars are going to have. Supposed to be pretty close to the real aircraft, so I don't know what the real ones really look like. They pretty much don't like to run them on the ground. Something about making people not be able to have babies. Yeah. So irradiation into people. Yeah, they kind of frown on that. So never got a chance. Although I take that back. I did watch. I was a kid. Well, was this on one of my deployments? I think it was one of my deployments with the Air National Guard down somewhere. Not to the sandpit. I was out of the Guard long before any of that happened. I was out of the Air Force before that all happened. And we were sitting in Atlanta, and I think they had a thunderstorm or something like that, and they were Me and another guy who were wanting to be airline pilots, they let us come up while we were delayed. And yeah, they were showing it on the radar, what we're waiting on. And I'm like, I didn't know anything about the radiation and that stuff on the ground at that time. Feel sorry for all those people that might have been in the terminal because we weren't pushed back. So, but it was fun. I mean, to see. Hopefully, we'll get the same deal. But there you have it, November 162, Fox Echo, FedEx. About 30 minutes out of Memphis. Top of descent. Let's see if my calculations, their calculations usually don't add up. And no, they don't. So we'll be descending before what they're telling us, like in about 100 miles. And I'm going to even verify that real quick. And what I do is axle 24,000 or higher. Let's see, we're at what? Oh, that's 10. That's 30, 35 miles. So Hart, that could be right. Harrod, around the Harrod area, just maybe 5-10 miles prior to it, we'll start our descent. And what I do, drop the zeros. So it's 34 minus 24. Gee, 10. Times that by 3, give you 30. And then I buffer it a little, up 10, usually about 10. So like I said, 35, 40 miles out of Harrod, which is 30 miles from Axel, will be on our descent. Hope that made sense. I can already hear some going, I'm not in school. I don't want to hear math. Sorry. Welcome to the world. Y'all wonder, I'll never use this kind of math. Oh, yes, you will. You will never understand how much math you really will use in the real world. Sorry about that. My nose and my coughing all came together at once. So we stand at about 25 miles out, or 25 minutes out, sorry. And we're getting ready for top of descent. So let's start running checks. Now, this aircraft is not sophisticated in any ways to write home about. I can't go in here and get the winds aloft. I can't go in here and anything other than pretty much what you see. Currently 94 miles out. That's about as sophisticated as it gets, so to speak. So we already have the seatbelt sign on. We knew we had a rowdy bunch of packages and boxes and cargo back there, so we kept the seatbelt sign on so they wouldn't get out of their seats. Auto brake, I'm going to run sim brief real quick on the landing numbers for 27. And it looks like we're going to need auto brake 3. And yeah, that'll work. Okay. Looks like our approach speed will be 148. So that was some good numbers we came up with on the approach. Of let's call it how about closer to about 2 minutes. 1 minute 58 seconds is what we'll call it, from ground GRND to missed approach. I still can't get over someone's banning Mid-America Tower. All right, .CTAF, KMEM. I was wrong. They did do it for the 1836s. Okay. All right, well, 119.7. Okay. That's hard to read. Either way would have been just as rough. $119. Okay. Yeah, I've had it on CTAF out of Pitt the whole time. Yeah, good thing is we don't get gigged for that. Well, it looks like a lot are coming up. Houston Center's up now. Birmingham Approach, that was up when we took off. Indy Ground and Tower are available. And Mid-America Tower, of all places. Last thing I'd ever expect. So, getting ready to bring this one home. Just checking some things out here. All right, getting closer. About 50 miles. What did we say from Harrod? Top of descent is like right on top of it. I think I'm going to start. How far out from Harrod are we? 58 miles. I think when we're about 10 miles, I'm going to initiate top of descent. Now, in this plane, to do your descent, notice we don't have any of the altitude selects or any of that up here. It's a little more, how shall I say, different. Okay, we'll just call it different. Now, you can select speed. And let me bring up the chart one more time. All right, so we're going to be coming in to Harrod, but we need to make sure we're at 290 at, not maybe or guessing, at 290 at axle, above flight level 240, at or above. Same with speaker, at or above 14 but below 23. Buzz at 280 but below 23. So I shoot for 14. I shoot for 24, and I shoot, well, we have to be at 10,000 feet at 230. So let's do this. Okay, how far out are we now? 47. So what I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be doing it about 10 miles or so out, 10 to 15 miles. And actually 5 to 10 miles out. So yeah, technically that top of descent is pretty good. So what you can do, set your altitude, 24,000, because again, we don't want to go below it, because I don't think Flight Factor is geared up for taking the constraint that's in there and keeping it. Or at least maybe I just haven't paid attention enough and saw that it did. Okay, it's not doing anything. What's up here, Captain? Very simple. Come over here. Now, you could have a VNAV button in whatever 767 you're flying. I haven't run across where it's in the flight factors, but I do know when I flew level D in FSX, there was some FMCs that had a VNAV button. Just if you do have that, go to the next page till it says descent. Because right now we're in cruise, 30 miles out of our top of descent. Now, next page to descent. Here's a possibility where you could have forecast, and that's where you would put your transition level. However, flight factor is pretty basic. You just set it here. Good thing is the United States, it's 18,000 feet from your departure point in the U.S. to your arrival point in the U.S. When you go abroad, say to England or Japan, then you got to check for what the transition levels are there, because they change. And then when we're ready, we click descent now. Pretty simple. Currently 29 miles out, so we're just about. Now, when you look at the chart here, why aren't we seeing the triangle? Because that dotted box, that is not to scale. When we come out at speaker, we'll see it then. Okay, we're just getting in range. And another thing I try to do is keep my course pretty aligned with what I'm doing. So just in case I missed a discontinuity and all of a sudden the plane starts doing weird things, snap heading select, back towards the right heading, assess whatever it did, and then direct to my next fix. By the way, when you hear people say my FMC is screwed up or my GPS is screwed up, that's because they probably didn't check for that on the ground. All right, we are now within 20 miles. I am going to go ahead and descend this. Okay. I am going to keep it set here. Actually, I'm going to let it come down at 280. The reason I switched out is we need to be at 290, if you remember right, on speaker, I believe it was, and Bluz, or 280. That's what I'm setting up for right now. And it looks like it's not playing well with it. And we're going to wait till it hits top of descent and see if it starts steepening. Now, the other option for starting a top of descent, set your altitude and wait for it to pass it. Once it reaches top of descent, it will start the descent. I just like to make sure I'm at my altitudes beforehand. There you go. And we'll kind of watch this, but we can steepen it if we need to with vertical speed. Okay, I'm gonna have to steepen it. Okay. That's looking a lot better because we're just going to continue on to speaker, which will be 14,000. We'll kind of do that as we get closer here. So again, hope your Friday is going well. Hang on a second. There we go. Ooh, nastiness. Wow. Hope that's... Oh, we have ground in Memphis. Hang on. I'm going to go by the real one. Sorry, yours, no. Actually, the real one, that is wild. Still bringing them in on the 3 6s and 2 7s 9 minutes ago. VATSIM over an hour. Never mind. We'll go with the real one. The good thing is until tower comes up, Memphis doesn't have an approach, I don't see, or center, so we'll continue inbound. All right, I'm going to go ahead, set for 14. Wow, that is definitely some nastiness up ahead of us. Watch it be right on the airport. Oh, that would just be our luck. Would be good, but boy, that would be our luck. Looks good, though, from a distance. Wow. Great job, Laminar. Great job. Okay. Good. We're going to be before speaker at 14,000. However, 3007. Well, something tells me that line should be like right there. Again, this goes into how far of a delay is there. Speaker 290 and then 280. Oh, we're at 280, so we're good. Spiker, I guess you could call it. Who knows? Oh, we need to set the ILS frequency. Real quick, it is 108.7 and 273. So basically between the ADF and the open panel, this frequency is your ILS, not where 114.8 and 116.8 is. Those are just what's working to help put you on course. The actual ILS was where we were, and we need to set 3007. Okay, get the disagree out. 3007. Whoop. Okay, there we go. Brake set for 3. Okay, our descent's looking pretty good. That weather's still hanging. We'll see how it works out. Oh, well. And again, we'll get up to Copen and then probably 190, maybe, to head down for the localizer. Actually, 2-1, maybe 2-1s, maybe 2-1 to 2-0, 200 to 210 maybe will be our heading. Okay, back to our chart. Well, still showing 2.7 in the real world. That's what we're going with. Okay. Sorry, ground. That big old runway was built for FedEx. All right, we're coming into Spiker at 14,000. Well, we're at 280. We'll begin our descent to 10,000 here shortly. I want to cross it first. Okay, we are bringing it in to Buzz right now. We definitely are below 23,000. And we're getting ready to head for runway 27. Let me back that off one. Wrong one. And then we're going to need to get down to 3,000, I believe it is. Yes. Okay, down to 3,000 we go. Memphis area traffic FedEx 811 direct grit for the 27 ILS approach into Memphis. Okay, no localizer or glide slope yet. Not sure we're gonna see it real easy with the haze out there, but we'll give it our best. Why is it green? Is that because of the weather? Ah, center has come up. Well, they haven't ping-ponged me yet. Trying to figure out why it was so green. And Memphis Center, FedEx 811 Heavy with you, direct grit for the 27 ILS into Memphis. Whoop, I am on the right
FedEx
foot.
811 Memphis Center, hello, ident.
Memphis 811, identing. Hey, we finally got to our speed that I want. Flaps 1.
FedEx 811 Heavy, radar contact 19 miles to the east of Memphis. Cross grid at or above 3000, cleared ILS straight in, runway 27 approach.
Cleared ILS 27 straight in. Will maintain at or above 3000 at grit. FedEx 811 Heavy. Come on, localizer, come alive. Looks like we need a little more help with the speed brakes. All right, we got a localizer. Oh, I hate when it does that, and I know why. It's because the little lever got in the way. All right, there we go.
Aircraft that just called was totally unreadable. I'm just sorry, I don't understand the fan. You're coming in like a literal fan. I can't hear anything that you're saying. Disconnect and reconnect the aircraft that's calling.
And center FedEx 811 Heavy, fully established, runway 27.
FedEx 811 Heavy, you can hear that other aircraft that's trying to call that's pretty muffled, correct?
That's affirm.
Roger, FedEx 811 Heavy, Memphis 12006, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land 27, FedEx 811.
Delta 9847, your mic is like white noise, but a little bit more harsh.
Okay, just making sure, go to full flaps. All right, we're about 3 miles from touchdown. Last chance, exclamation mark, predict, space, and a negative number for prediction. Definitely this plane's handling a lot better than level up. Hopefully that's all level up needs is calibration. Nope, we're on to visual cues.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Easy. easy girl.
FedEx 811 Heavy, welcome to Memphis, exit right 1 able, and contact ground on 121.9-er, short of taxiway Charlie. Or correct, short of taxiway Victor.
Short of taxiway Victor, we're heading off the runway right now. We'll get ground 121.9.
Thanks, take care.
FedEx 811 Heavy's off runway 27, holding short Victor with you ground.
FedEx 811 Heavy, Memphis ground, welcome to Memphis. Taxi to the FedEx ramp, I believe via Victor, and choose your gate at your own discretion.
Via Victor to the FedEx ramp, FedEx 811 Heavy, thanks.
Absolutely no problem.
And ground from FedEx 811, you might want to check the real world ATIS. They're showing 27 in use.
Yeah, we're currently rocking south flow, so we'll check. I'll check it, but not for now. Thank you.
Not a problem, FedEx 811 Heavy. I'm pretty sure I know the reason why. Let's see. I changed. You know what? I am going to head up this way. I think I'm going to park into the left here. I haven't done that in a while. All right, let's run some after landing checks that we throttle speed, autopilot, flight directors off. Let's get that taxi light off. And we didn't start the APU, so we'll get that going right now. That'll take a few minutes. Transponder to... Okay, now be careful. The checklists say to stand by. remember, you need to say mode Charlie so long as connected. So if that light goes out, turn it 1 notch back. It shouldn't take too long for the APU to come alive. It's one of the few things that spool up. You probably should. But anyway, welcome to Memphis. We had a pretty good run in here. Great. I don't even know what our landing was, but it felt pretty good. I'm just waiting for the APU, which is just about available. All right, anyway, back up here. Okay, we're on. Let's bleed. Jen. Flaps are up, standby. Let's make sure flaps are indeed up. Spoilers are down, and oh, there they are. Yeah, they're right in front of me. Perfect. All right, I'm going to get out of the airplane right now. And let's bring in what we need. Get the GPU. Oh, yeah, let's get the chocks as well, the ACU. And the loader out here. We'll go to Ops, Airplane, open them all. Okay, it lets you see how the whole armada looks for this aircraft. Because it's going to look kind of the same. Who's 422? Look at that, right ahead of us. Let's find out if I know that person. I don't think I do. All right. Well, let me minimize that. And then we're going to push unload. And that's exactly what it's going to start doing. All right, let's get our ACARs stopped. And it looks like 451 feet a minute. That did not feel like that. Logging to flight report. I tell you, I think they got it out for me. No. I just. But anyway, we're on the ground here in Memphis. So there you had it, folks. They are not required to simulate real world practices. And that's fine. Like I tell you all, even if the winds are right down the runway, don't be surprised if these controllers pop a tailwind takeoff on you, and then tell them you're not capable. Even though we set up for real world, the VATSIM isn't. So just be on your guard for that. Anyway, so that was a pretty good flight. Actually, that was a really good flight. Let me pull some stuff down real quick. All right. let's take a look at Elevatex, see how they charted us in here. Probably the same way. I am on the Unicom. No, I'm not. All right, so there we go. All right, so here's what we were looking at. Where'd it go? There it is. So we got a line now starting to shoot up from Paducah down towards the Memphis area. We're going to be heading over to Atlanta here in a minute, where they got a holy mackerel storm lining up for our path to St. Louis. Oh, wow. Even up in the St. Louis area, we got a line of storms. Wow. Holy mackerel, things change quickly. Welcome to the Midwest. All right, so we could be going into storms up there. All right. So anyway, I got distracted. Let's complete the flight. All right, and FedEx, 453 at 156 knots. We must have landed fast. I didn't think we were. I thought we were slowed up. But anyway, 1.3 Gs, so I'm not going to complain too much. All right, get rid of Elevatech. Let's go to the official scorekeeper for Flying with Mike, and that would be the wrong button. Sorry about that. Sim Toolkit. I'm going to have to move that again. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move that one up. There we go. All right, so Sim Toolkit has us at 431, 155. So I guess we did come in a little hot. All right, so that would explain that, and explain a little bit harder on the reverse thrust to get stopped. But overall, a good flight coming down the pike. Maybe not to the liking of Memphis Center. Okay, again, there's our flight. Hour, 50 minutes, 566 miles, and 7,700 kilograms of fuel burned. Not a bad flight. We all know the other half of the equation here. Let's see. I know we were very close to that landing spot. I have a feeling we were 2,100 feet. Oh, we floated. However, we floated right on the center line, so we'll take it. All right, so here's the metrics. 2,156 feet down the runway. Just under 10 feet off the center line, all pretty good. The landing zone still 1,000 feet roughly ahead of us before it ended, and pretty good numbers over here. Can't complain too much. All right, well, that's going to be a wrap on flight number 1. Let me get back outside. Now, for those of you here on Twitch, we are going to take about a 5-10 minute break to reset, mainly to reset the sim and get set up for our Atlanta to St. Louis flight. So, but anyway, I want to say this has been a great flight. Enjoyed it. Hope you all did. I've been kind of looking forward to a flight like this. And because we've had some that have been pretty, well, they just haven't been all the greatest. So we're going to call it for YouTube, but Twitch, we're going to be back, like I said, in about 5-10 minutes to blast off out of Atlanta. So while it's going to look like we're shutting things down, we're actually just transitioning. So bear with us. God bless you all on YouTube. We'll see you on our next flight. Atlanta to Chicago, Atlanta to St. Louis.